This is the fourth World Cup meeting between Argentina and France. L'Abbé Celeste won 2 of the previous 3 but lost the only such encounters in a knockout group stage, a 3-4 defeat in 2018's round of 16. Overall, this will be the 13th meeting between Argentina and France in all competitions, with Les Bleus winning just 3 of the previous 12, although the most recent meetings was 4-3 at the World Cup. France were unbeaten in the last 10 World Cup matches against South American nations, with 6 wins, 4 draws. Indeed, such last defeat came against Argentina, going 2-1 down in their 1978 first group stage. This will be the 11th World Cup final between a South American and European nation. South American sides lifted the trophy on 7 of the previous 10 occasions. However, Argentina are responsible for the 3 such defeats of South American teams against Germany in 1990 and 2014, while France are responsible for the other wins, 3-0 against Brazil in 1998. Okay, so here are their records, if you could see them. So Argentina going into this match are favourites with 6 games won, 3 games drawn, even though this match is not going to end in a draw because of extra time, and 3 games lost. Okay, so I'm going to present to you all the numbers for why Argentina could win this World Cup, and all the numbers for why France could win this World Cup, and then my overall view. My overall view will come from the astrology. Okay, so the numbers for Argentina to win the World Cup are 89 in English ordinal, which is the same as FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, which is 89 in full reduction. The final will be played in the Lusail Stadium, which is 44 in full reduction, just like Argentina. Okay, Argentina was the first country to play a match in the stadium, and that was against Saudi Arabia. The stadium was chosen for the final is 190 in reverse full reduction, just like the phrase FIFA World Cup. Argentina is 48 in full reduction, like the motto of the World Cup, all is now. So if you don't know what that is, let me show you. So here is the motto, all is now, and that's been the motto throughout the whole World Cup. Okay, so let's go into the long decode. So we have Argentina 44, the Lusail Stadium where they're playing is 44. What you also have is Argentina 105 in the last cipher of Kabbalah. And 105 is very important because Kabbalah is the tree of life. It moves you into the next stages of life, or moving into the next stages of this game. So for Argentina, it will be 105 minutes of extra time. If they get there, that will change the outcome. Very important. As you can see, 105 is also matches with football and extra time. Hence football and extra time, and also in matches with the motto. So whatever happens, what Argentina doesn't want is to go into extra time for them, because then it'll change the outcome for where they are destined to head to, which obviously if you go into extra time, it's sudden death comes into play as well, which will be going into penalties. Now, a very important code in winning anything is 43. And the word you're looking for is champion. 43 is the 43 is the 14th prime number, and I will just get that up on here. So hold on a second. Actually, let me just type it in. So you have champion. So this is 22nd prime number. Hence the word 2022, which we're playing in. 43, 14th prime number, very important. right? Every time you see that, most people become 14. For example, when Real Madrid went to win their 14th Grand European Champions League, when Roger Federer went to win his 14th Grand Slam, when Nadal went to win his 14th Grand Slam. Basically, 43 champion, prime number, very important. So here it is. So you have the stadium, hence why the stadium's name, which is 43, hence the final being played there. This guy, he is the official referee. I'm not going to pronounce his name or even try to. He's a Polish referee, and so here he is, referee. There he is. So he got chosen for the final, which you can see there. There's his name. There's his last name. His last name will be on the back of his shirt if you watch the match. Right. So 43 is also La Siesta. La Siesta is the nickname of the Argentinian national football team. If you didn't know, let me just pull that up for you so you can see here. Nickname La Siesta, which is the white and sky blue. Now, let's just go to cover squad. So that is important in the long decode because it's in full reduction here, right? Which he matches with the referee's last name, which is 43, which also matches. So therefore, it's more likely the referee will be favourable. I'm not saying so, but could be favourable to Argentina and the way they play. Okay, so that's a very important code. Okay, let's keep going through the referee. So the referee, I'm not going to pronounce his name, he has 74. 74 is associated with Christ and Jesus, and he will be working with his assistant referee, whose first name is Ishmael. I cannot pronounce his last name, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by doing so. Right, so we have fourth official, Ishmael. Right. So we have 74 for the referee, right, who will also be slightly favourable to Didier Deschamps, who is also another 74, and the referee will be affecting this player, Giroud, Olivier Giroud of France. So depending how the match goes, if he likes him, he might give him some favourable outcomes. If he doesn't like him, well, it's not going to be a good game for Giroud. So, right, just to reiterate my point even more about the referee and Olivier Giroud on the French side, as you can see, he's flashing 88. So you have him there, you have him coded to the stadium, because all referees are always coded to the stadium. That's how it goes. What they do is, for the winner of a football match, you have the country, you have the referee who is coded to the country, and then you also have the city they're playing in, and then you can find out the winner simply. Right, so let's go back. So there he is, there's his full name, he's 88, right, there's the stadium name, right, and then as I was mentioning before, he has some vibrational energy with Deschamps, Didier Deschamps, who is the manager, but however he will mostly be looking out for the player Olivier Giroud. So as I mentioned before, he could be in his favour or he could be against Olivier Giroud. If he's most likely to be against him, whatever Giroud does, if he goes down on the box, he's not going to get a penalty, etc, etc, etc. Is it screen capturing? Okay, so the assistant referee is this guy. Right. He will be assisting the main referee. Right. And he is 67 in full reduction, and so therefore his involvement will be affecting mainly France, as you can see in the Kabbalah cipher, and he will mainly be affecting Kylian Mbappe, as you can see here. So because it's in this cipher, it's 67 with Mbappe. So how, depending on how Mbappe plays, I would assume because he's on a winger running down the lines, he could be flagged offside even though he's onside. He could be flagged onside even though he's offside. And yes, that has happened before. Okay. Okay. So the assistant referee's first name is all this. His most energy is going to be spent in the Kabbalah, right? So affecting all of the game. And funny enough, he coached the motto, which is there, right? And he will be affecting the manager as a, which is the Argentinian manager, and how we will be doing favourable things for him as well. All of the referees chosen are always coded to the stadium, to the location, and what will be happening. Right. So our third referee is Ishmael. Let me just quickly show you what's going to happen with Ishmael. Oops. Okay, so fourth official is Ishmael, right? And his codes align with France. There we go, 115, right? And he will be having the most important role, even though he's a side character in this dramatization, right? Which would be extra time. So him putting up the boards will mainly affect extra time and how it goes to, and he will be helping France in France's victory. France's main victory will be in extra time if it ever comes to that, but we'll see. Right, so there's 115, there's Ishmael, right, there's extra time. So as for Ishmael, as I said earlier, being a side character which you don't really think about, no one thinks about the fourth official in a game, but he is 52, right, and 52, funny enough, codes to Laib. Now Laib, for those of you who don't know who he is, let me just quickly show you who he is. Laib at the World Cup is the official ghost, right, of the World Cup. So Ishmael, funny enough, would be an official ghost throughout the whole final game, but he will be an important ghost on deciding how the outcome of the game goes. Now, one of Ishmael's most important roles is this in Kabbalah, which will be helping Lionel Messi. If you can see that 165. Now, what he would be doing with Messi will be unknown until the final games, but it will be very important. You will see him time to time either assisting the second referee or the main referee about Lionel Messi, and we'll see how that ends. Okay, so La Bicicleta, which is the national team of Argentina, that is their nickname, meaning the white and sky. Let me just show you again so you can remember. Here it is, the white and the sky blue, La Bicicleta, right? And this is their current team. Oops. Right, so I will just show you the current FIFA rankings. This is the current rankings. So France are ahead of them, which is 3. Argentina are in 5th place. However, if you look at their ELO rankings, right, I'm not going to explain what ELO rankings are. Basically, it determines how how good a skill level you are in comparison to other teams or nations. It was mostly developed and used by chess players, and now it's been used in other sporting areas, to simply put. Right. But according to the World ELO rankings of football, the favourable ones are Argentina, then Brazil, then comes France. So on paper, it is more likely Argentina, if this was just played by pure skill, should beat France. And if we go to Google, and if I show you, right, let me see. Oh, go on. Can you see that? Right. So according to Google itself, right, with data analytics, you have 36% chance of Argentina winning the match, France 34, extra time being 30, and if you know what 34 is, hopefully you know what it is. 34 is France, which is a reverse full reduction. So France are the losing side and have been for a long time against Argentina. Okay. So let's get back to La Bisiesta. So as I was saying, right, La Bisiesta's outcome depends on Lionel Scaloni, who is the manager, obviously. So here he is, right, depending on his codes, and he will be affecting Deschamps, who is Didier Deschamps, right? What they have in their favour, as I've mentioned before, is 43. 43 is champion. That is vibrating heavily. Let me just find it for you again. That is vibrating heavily. There we are. Right. So 43 champion, which is the 14th prime number, which will be vibrating heavily for Argentina. Right, so if Argentina do go into extra time, right, I'm not saying they will, but it looks like they would win. The only caution of that is the problem is football, which is a reversal. So if France are winning the match and it goes into extra time, right, Argentina should win in extra time according to the codes. Now, I'm not saying me personally, but just according to the codes, right? However, the other problem is if Argentina go to extra time, right, and they are winning, according to the codes, it would be a reversal, if that makes sense. So they would lose. I hope you understand that. Now, the biggest threat to Argentina, according to the code, is 83, and 83, as you can see in their Kabbalah, right, is France. Now, their main person for France to beat Argentina, as in to reverse them, that's the reversal, would be none other than Olivier Jonathan Giroud, who is the striker for France. As you can see, his code's 83, vibrating there, right? So if you see a goal by Olivier Giroud in the 83rd minute, don't be surprised, okay? Let me just go back. As I've mentioned before, the most favourable team according to Gematria before heading into this match and just looking at statistics, are Argentina. However, the biggest problem for Argentina is this word, which, let me just show you, is upset. And today is the 18th of December, which is an upset day. Now, upset always causes great dramatic things. So what you have going into the final is Lionel Messi's last ever World Cup, to try and do it and to try and be the great Maradona. The only problem is it's on the 18th of December, which causes the biggest upset. And nothing more would be the biggest upset than Lionel Messi winning this from a winning position. So as in they're 1-0 up, and then they lose it 2-1. Let me just show you. So as you can also see, upset 27, soccer, which the rest of the world call football, or the English call football. There you go. Right. Anyway. And if you need any more proof, there's upset 81, football 81, right? Especially in Kabbalah being the tree of life, and so you have so many upsets in football, and people wonder why is that. When things roll around to the 18th, you always have to be cautious, because we've seen it so many times, not just in football but in other sports. Let me show you the other sports. So I put this out on my gematria on my Twitter. If you're not subscribed to my Twitter, please come subscribe to my Twitter. Okay, so the power, let's just pull this up. The power of an upset day, right? On May the 18th, 2021, Roger Federer went down 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 to Pablo Andujar, despite leading by a break in the decider. So as you can see, Pablo Andujar won the first set, Roger came back, Roger Federer, ranked world number 1, came back from an injury, right? Everybody thought he's going to beat him, right? And then what happened? Upset, right? And Pablo Andujar is the only person to beat Roger Federer with 100% record. Now, you might be thinking, what does that tennis match have to do with today's final? Now, it's an upset day, right? It's not a normal day. If this was a normal day, right, statistics, ELO, on paper, with all the codes, Argentina would 100% beat France. The only problem is you have an upset code running in the background. Right. So as you can see, as I've mentioned before, 81, 18, right, 81, football, upset, right, 81, and therefore what you don't want is a big upset on a world stage, especially if you're an Argentinian fan. Could you imagine? Okay, so that's the importance of upset. Now, the other important. Now, if you have ever wondered why all matches are played on Sunday, Sunday is to do with 33. So you have 33. Okay, so 33 is a massive code used by Freemasons, Masons, people who know Kabbalah, people who know gematria, people who know how to affect this reality, right? And the code for the World Cup is all is now, which is 33, and being all is now is a 111 key. Now, if you don't know what 111 is, to simply put, 111 is an angel number in which people collect 111s, and it gives them good vibrational energy and ascends them throughout the tree of life to higher things. So you get 111, 222, 333, etc., etc. So everyone is trying to collect a championship, right, which would be the next 111 in their vibrational energy and key. I'll do a separate video on what is 111, explaining why it's important and explaining that. But there you go. So that's 33. Right. As I've mentioned before, in a game of football, 45 minutes, both 45s adds up to 90, right? And if you go to 90 minutes, as you can see by the gematria, you go onto extra time, so extra time is 90, right? And it's a good day to have extra time, especially at a World Cup, because everybody's watching it. It'll be the first time on a Sunday. So this Sunday's World Cup, depending how the score goes, depending how everything else goes, and all the scripted reality, right? Don't be surprised if you see extra time during the World Cup. It says it in the codes. It's on Sunday. There's extra time. It says it in the Kabbalah. There it is, and it changes the tree of life. Right. There we go. Hope that makes sense. So, as I was mentioning, the date being played and the kickoff is 18th of December 2022 at 3 p.m. GMT. Right, they use the official GMT times to set this World Cup. Right, and it's officially there. Right, and that's around the world. So for those of you who don't know how FIFA works, I'll just briefly sum it up for you. FIFA's authoritative language is English. That's in the document. I can't find the document for you now, but I'll show you later. That is in the document. It's the official language, so they use official language as English to set the stage and the scripted reality of these football matches. And then they also use GMT time because to set the stage around the world. It's GMT and UCT are basically universal times. So the importance of knowing this is this number, which is in Kabbalah. So as you can see, it's 2202. In Gematria, take away the 2, you have 222. Now 222, as I was saying earlier, is the higher vibration of 111. So you're going from one stage to another stage. So whoever wins this will obviously be the highest vibration. And you can also see this with, if I can pull it up, how many, let me show you quickly, on the Argentinian national football team. As you can see, 2 stars. They will be going into the next higher vibrational energy. Right, I'm just checking my screen recording. So they'll go from 2 stars to 3 stars, and France will also go from 2 stars to 3 stars. So both teams on this day are deciding for this, which is 222. Now let's take a look at the word champion and its breakdown. So the word champion is 79. 79, if I could pull it up, is a 22nd prime number, as I mentioned before. So it's very important to decide who is the champion this year. Right. Hold on, let me just click off that. Right. And the decision of who becomes the champion will be affected by none other than the referee, the Polish referee, which is there, who is also 79, who also codes to the word champion. So he has these 2 codes, hence why he's in the final. Right. And you also have 79 here, which is Thomas. Thomas, if I don't know why that hasn't come through. Hold on. Thomas is this guy, the assistant referee, and he would be affecting who is also the finalist. Let me just put in his full name again because it hasn't come through on this. I don't know why. Okay, so there we go. Anyway, let me go back to 79. So there we go. So 79, 43, very 2 important codes. Referee of this game, very important, deciding out the outcome. 79, as you can see, is Lionel Messi, and he has that in his Kabbalah. So that's one of the things on why it's favourable for Argentina, because Messi is captain. He has 79. He's been a champion before. Let's see if he could be a champion today. Right. Also with the word champion, you have the number 137, which is the 33rd prime. I hope you can see that. 33 prime. Right. And as I was mentioning earlier, hold on, let me show you. 137, right? Didier Deschamps. He is the French manager. He has been a champion of winning the World Cup for this team, right? So that's in his favour, and he did it in the last World Cup. right? And then 137, if I could pull it up, is played on Sunday. So Sundays always determine and decide the champion or championships of major sporting events. So you have Wimbledon men's final, which is always played on Sunday, and then the winner gets that. So that's why they play championship on Sunday. And there we go with the motto all is now. So all is now, as you can guess. If you don't have it, well, there's nothing you can do about it. But there we go. That's the importance of playing it on Sundays. Plus all the other, Freemason numerologic stuff. Right, if we go into the Kabbalah of Champion, you have 109. Now, 109, the one who has the massive Kabbalah codes in which it changed them was Mbappe, being Kylian Mbappe. Now, Kylian is not the captain, but he is the main number 10, just like Lionel Messi. Now, if you don't know between Messi and Mbappe, let me just show you this, because some people haven't realised. Hold on a second. Okay, for those of you who haven't realised what's going on, I'll explain it. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, right? He is the Emirati of Qatar. Now, he owns, funny enough, PSG. Now, also being the Emirati of Qatar, he influenced FIFA to put the World Cup in Qatar. He owns PSG, right? And he founded the Oxen Qatar Sports Investment Group, as you can see, which owns PSG as other investments. Now, the two top goal scorers are Kylian Mbappe, right, and Lionel Messi. They're both heading into this final with 5 goals each, right, which is 55. And if you don't know what 55 is Satan, right? Just type it into the calculator and you'll find that, right? And hence why they're two going there. So basically, this match is an advertisement for PSG, right? It's not about football, let's just be honest. It's about PSG and advertising the best players in the world for people to like PSG. Right, so here we go. Kylian Mbappe, French football player who plays for PSG, sponsored by Qatar Airways. Lionel Messi, right, Argentinian football player who plays for PSG, sponsored by Qatar Airways, and they're both in the final, right, ruled by and owned by the Qatari Emirati. Right, so this is not a football match, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. Right, so as I was talking about 55 earlier, 55, so the two goal scorers have 5 goals coming into this match, and then it's played on December, which is 55. Their code names are ARG, which you will see on the TV, which is also 55, and 55 is basically Satan. If you don't believe me, let me just show you. So, is 55, right, and they both wear number 10, so it's deciding which out of them is right. And 55, let's just okay, for those of you who don't know, on when you watch the game, if you do watch it, it will be ARG as the initials versus FAR, right? So FAR are France, which is 25, 16, right, 55, let me highlight that up, and 20. Now let's just go through the first one. Still okay, so FAR 25, 25, 15, right, which is Lahib, which is the official sponsor. He is known as the Ghost. So even though the French are Le Bleu, they will also be playing like the Ghost. And so if you're playing like a Ghost team, it basically means you're not going to be there for most of the game, right? So Argentina will be dominating for most of the game, right? And then the only thing favourable to them, the France's team, for them to cause an upset would be in extra time. So expect, let me just turn these codes off for a second. So FAR, right? So expect a goal either in extra time or the 56th minute, right? And you can see soccer's 56, right? So that's one of the ones to look out for. Now, obviously, France's biggest threat to them is Lionel Messi. Now, expect a goal from Messi to come within the 20th minute. Right, so it's either +2 either side, so it will be +1 either side. It will be either 19 minutes when he scores, and then it will come up, right, as written 20 or etc. So it could be 20 to 21 or 19 to 20. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so Argentina. For them, they will have to dominate the game. The manager will be doing most of the decisions. And for Argentina, the biggest minute for them to worry about is the 76th minute, right? From whatever decisions the manager makes. So if they're in a winning position, right, and if they're in a winning position, and it comes to the 76th minute, right, it could be a reversal of fortune for them, hence this reversible reduction, right? Oops. Now, and the reason why this reversal is because of Olivier Giroud. Within his key, he will do something in his tree of a life, i.e. shoot at the goal. He might score a goal in the 76th minute, right, which will affect the outcome of the Argentinian manager. Right, or the Argentinian manager might have a reversal whereby he puts on someone in the 76th minute, right, to try and win the game. If you're watching the game, look out for Lionel Messi on what he does in the 76th minute. Watch out for Olivier Giroud in the 76th minute, right? And obviously football is 76, so it's going to be very dramatic come the 76th minute. Right, Laba Siesta, that is 106. That is, take away the zero numerology, you have 16 minutes, right? First 16 minutes, right? The coach, he's just going to be chilling. He's going to be fine. He has this game plan. Unless something changes, as in if France were to score early, right, obviously it would change the outcome, and the head coach would change something in his codes, and you'll see it there. It's reflected there, right? It will change the outcome for Didier Deschamps. It's also reflected there, right? If we get to the 106 minute, which is 19 minutes plus 16, you will see another change by him roughly about the 106 minute. And when I mean by him, I mean by the coach in the 106 minute, right? And you'll see that there, and you'll see Didier Deschamps making changes roughly at that time period as well, if it goes to extra time. So let me just turn that off.